But of course, now in our Western culture, we go, ooh, that sounds interesting. And so we have people going to tantric sex workshops, weekend tantric sex workshops. Let's just call it sex, okay? It's not tantric practice in any form.
They use Arhat in the Mahayana tradition.
Sorry?
The name Arhat.
Yeah.
They use it in the Mahayana tradition.
Yeah, of course. Anyone who's achieved the goal of nirvana. Remember, in the Mahayana, nirvana is a stepping stone to enlightenment. So on the way to enlightenment, we will achieve that goal, and then we're an arhat, and then we go on to becoming a Buddha.
Is after you become a bodhisattva or before? Or it doesn't?
Both possibilities. Both possibilities.
Is it a direct way?
Direct, then you're already a bodhisattva before you go through that. But you could first go here, then become bodhisattva and go on to Buddha. So both options are possible.
Might be a little bit off topic, and so we can put it aside, but
Sure.
can you tell us a little bit about Tara?
Well, Tara, in Tantra or Vajrayana, we say we're in the generation stage practice, we are visualizing ourselves in a fully enlightened form. And the enlightened form can manifest in many different ways to display, in particular, certain aspects of an enlightened being, emphasizing certain qualities. And so Tara is a feminine aspect that really emphasizes the power to overcome obstacles in the spiritual path. So that's the particular aspect of Tara. And then, of course, Chenrezig, no, that's not Chenrezig, over there,
And
or
Tara is
Avalokiteshvara.
And Tara is there.
Tara's there on the end, and then Chenrezig or Avalokiteshvara, this one here, is the aspect of compassion. And then you sometimes see Manjushri with the sword. This is the aspect of wisdom down there. And then here we have Vajrasattva, and this is the aspect of purification, of purity. So the different enlightened forms are particularly emphasizing different aspects and qualities. And so when we are to engage in this practice, we have our own certain dispositions and what we connect with. And so then you would have your Tantra teacher who could see, okay, I think for you, it would be most effective if you use Tara as your practice, because that fits with your personality, that aspect, and that would be most effective. Or maybe for you, Avalokiteshvara would fit your personality. And so they would find one of these aspects that would fit with you and that you could resonate with and make most progress with.
So those are different aspects of Buddha?
The enlightened being, yeah, that's right. Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll finish there. So this then gives the large framework. And then tomorrow, we're going to look at the Lam Rim. The Lam Rim is the structure or framework within the Geluk school of Tibetan Buddhism. So the Geluk school of Tibetan Buddhism covers all three areas. So what we're going to see tomorrow is, in the Lam Rim structure, how all of this is laid out in a step-by-step way to enlightenment. So that's what we're going to look at tomorrow in terms of Lam Rim. So that's all I wanted to talk about the three vehicles this evening. So what I'd like to do now is finish the evening with the meditation. And in particular, I'd like to introduce the practice of Tong Len. Tong Len is a Tibetan word. Literally means giving and taking. And it's a very powerful method that's widely practiced in all the Tibetan schools of Buddhism. In terms of, it's a very powerful method in cultivating loving kindness and compassion for ourselves and others. And it's a very powerful method to transform our selfish, self-centered attitude into an attitude of cherishing others. So we're going to practice that this evening, and I'll be leading it, and it's fairly self-explanatory what the practice is, so I don't think I need to mention anything more. We'll go straight into the practice, and it'll be self-evident what the practice is as I lead you through it. So let's do the practice. We'll do one session about 20 minutes long. As an act of loving kindness for yourself, allow your awareness to descend into the body and simply become aware of sensations throughout the body. Using the out-breath to relax and release any tightness or tension in any part of the body. And softening and relaxing all the muscles in the face. All the muscles around the eyes, soft and relaxed. In this way, allowing the entire body to become completely relaxed, completely at ease. Allowing the breathing to settle into its natural rhythm. And setting the mind in a state of ease and relaxation. Not dwelling in the past, not anticipating the future. Simply allowing the mind to come to rest in the present moment. focusing on the sensations of the breath throughout the body. Glen is a Tibetan word which literally means giving and taking. In this practice, we imagine taking on the suffering of others, and we imagine giving our happiness away to them. This is a very powerful method to transform our ordinary, selfish, self-cherishing mind into a mind of cherishing others. To transform our attachment and aversions into loving kindness and compassion. And we can begin by using the Tonglen practice to cultivate loving kindness and compassion toward ourselves, and then slowly expand out to others. No matter how much mental afflictions are in our mind, no matter how much anger and jealousy and craving and fear and anxiety are in our mind, these are just like dirt covering the surface of our mind. And beneath these mental afflictions is the natural purity of our mind. This natural purity of our mind is our potential to reach the highest goals imaginable, often called our Buddha nature. So imagine this deepest dimension of your mind, this inner purity of your mind. Imagine this in the form of a small, white, radiant sphere of light in the center of your chest, at the level of your heart. And then arouse the thought, how wonderful it would be if I were free of suffering and its causes. May I be free of all suffering and its causes. May I be free of all mental afflictions. And then imagine all your mental afflictions and suffering in the form of black smoke filling your body. And then with each in-breath, imagine drawing that black smoke into the sphere of light at your heart, completely dissolving it there. So with each in-breath, breathe in with compassion, dissolving and extinguishing your mental afflictions and suffering at your heart. And then imagine the black cloud is now completely extinguished. And now you're free of all mental afflictions and suffering. And then arouse the thought, how wonderful it would be if I had happiness and its causes. May I be truly well and happy. And then with each out-breath, imagine immeasurable rays of light radiating out from the sphere of light at your heart, filling and saturating your entire body and mind, and transforming into everything you need to be happy. So with each out-breath, breathe out the light of loving kindness, sending to yourself whatever you need to be happy. And then imagine that you've now found the genuine happiness that you seek. And take joy in this. And just as you wish to be happy and to be free of suffering, so does everyone else. So next, bring to mind someone close to you, a loved one, who's currently experiencing some sort of physical or mental problem or suffering. And imagine them very clearly in front of you. And then arouse the thought, how wonderful it would be if they are free of that problem, free of that suffering. May you be free of all suffering and its causes. And then imagine their problem or suffering in the form of black smoke filling their body. And then with each in-breath, imagine drawing that black smoke out of their body and bringing it into the sphere of light at your heart, completely dissolving it there. So with each in-breath, breathe in with compassion, dissolving and extinguishing their suffering at your heart. And then imagine the black cloud is now completely extinguished. And now they're free of that problem, free of that suffering. And take delight in this. And then arouse the thought, how wonderful it would be if they had happiness and its causes. May you be truly well and happy. And then with each out-breath, imagine immeasurable rays of light radiating out from your heart, filling and saturating their entire body and mind, and transforming into everything they need to be happy. So with each out-breath, breathe out the light of loving kindness, sending to them whatever they need to be happy. And then imagine that they've now found the genuine happiness that is their heart's desire. And take joy in this. And then release all appearances and simply allow the mind to come to rest. Simply resting in awareness itself. Not really doing anything at all. Just be. Just be present. Bringing this meditation to a close. So tomorrow morning's meditation before breakfast will of course continue in the mode of shamatha. Tomorrow morning we're going to move to the nostrils practice, to be focusing in the area of the nostrils. And then in our discussions and teachings for the rest of the day, we're going to look at this Lam Rim framework, the one that developed within Tibetan Buddhism, in the Geluk school of Tibetan Buddhism. So we're going to be looking at the Lam Rim tomorrow. So that's it for today. So enjoy your evening. See you tomorrow morning.